Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 22.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. Today is our YouTube anniversary. 2 years ago on this day, we started a YouTube. Today, we are less bad than what we were 2 years ago. Doesn't mean we are the best. It just means that we are a lot better than we were 2 years ago. Thanks everybody for subscribing.
Thank you.
We are so close to 8,000. Thank y'all for hanging along. Now that was the nicest part I'm going to be in this whole episode because I'm pretty angry. I'm pretty exhausted with the whole Casa Amor experience. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this episode, please.
So Alandria and Nick had their kiss.
Yeah.
She knows that Sierra is going to freak out. She's going to have to just sit on everything that's happened until her girls come back. They both don't want to really tell anybody what happened.
Okay.
Alandria was cold, and Nick did end up giving her his shirt. Clark is walking around with Taylor's shirt on.
Nice.
And Alandria is talking about how she doesn't have a handshake with Taylor or with anyone for that matter. And Taylor makes a joke, well, maybe you're just not liked.
What the hell that mean, Taylor? What is your thoughts, Blair?
I was cool with Alandria and Nick keeping the kiss to themselves. It's really not anything to where they need everybody's opinions on.
Yeah.
It's something that they explored for themselves. When it comes to Taylor's comment, I know we like to say, oh, Taylor's kind of weird. He's a little bit awkward and all this different type of stuff. But I also feel like Taylor just doesn't like the girl.
Oh, just as in just flat out, just straight to the point. He don't like her.
Yeah, and just not in a romantic way. And I think that with this comment, it just rubbed me the wrong way. She needed reassurance. She needed honesty. Like, she was clearly seeing her with Clark. And I just felt like it was rude. I just felt like it was rude. It wasn't funny. I didn't like it.
Well, you know how I feel about adults. I always have I always say to you, adults know what they are doing.
Yeah.
Right. So when Taylor said that, I feel like I'm 100% on your side. Now it's to the point where it's not even about like romance. Do you like her as a girlfriend, as a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship? Maybe you just don't like her as a person, because things like that, no one made you say that.
Yeah.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? Like no one made you say that. The times that people did make you say things, Ace was motivating it, Nick was motivating it. Now when you actually get to say things like by yourself and things like that, this is what you say to Alandria. It kind of goes back to the episode yesterday, to where they surprised the people in the room in the morning, and Taylor literally ran right past her to hug Nick, and then was slow dancing with Nick for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Before he even acknowledged Alandria and kind of gave her the side hug. So it's like, I think it's much deeper than, oh, maybe he just don't feel like romantic feelings for her. Maybe he don't like her. And like, because this comment right here said a lot. I'm just like, this is just weird, you know?
Yeah. So Huda and JD talk. He could tell that she likes being dominant, and she was talking about, well, she just had to help him in the competition. He doesn't like being dominated. He felt like she was doing too much, and then she got her head in the game. He says that's why we lost. And Huda's like, you know what? Good talk. She walks away. This guy is being a lot right now.
Truth be told, first time in like a long time. Point for Huda right here.
Yeah.
I understand, like, all this time we have deducted a lot of points for Huda. Huda's still in the negatives now. But point for Huda. JD, you're a weirdo. Like, I don't even understand what was your point right here. Sometimes when guys flirt, guys don't know how to flirt when there's a very attractive woman in front of them. So they do little weird things. Like, they like resort to like toddler type of movements, like they hit the girl and things like that. They insult the girl. So he's over there basically talking about, like, you know, I hate being dominated, and you know, you are like the reason why, you know, we lost. And first of all, you was already on thin ice because you're not pretty enough for her. So already, I don't even understand why I do understand why he acted this way, because he's just not regular. And
okay.
no, like we are on episode 22.
Yeah.
I need to stop saying I don't know why, and actually say the reason and diagnose these fools. He's weird, right? That's why he can recognize Amaya and see her crying, because it's like, I can see, like, you know, myself in you and things of that nature. So guess what? I'm happy that Huda got up and walked away and left him where he was, you know?
Yeah, and I also feel like he thinks that Huda needs somebody to put her in her place.
Yeah.
But she's not interested in you enough. You don't know her that well. And this wasn't even a situation to put her in her place. So it was just all out of whack.
Yeah. You're right.
Next, we get to Ace and Coco, and they're just kind of having small talk, getting to know each other. They find out neither one of them are really jealous, but Ace said he is overprotective of what's his.
Yeah.
He's been let down a lot, and he doesn't trust people easily. Neither does she. And he's trying to get to know Coco. The chats are going good every time, and it's kind of confusing things for him with Shelly. So he says.
Yeah.
Which I do not believe.
No, listen here. The conversations is just not bad. Saying it's good is literally it's just not bad, right? I want to apologize to Coco because they wasted your time in Casa. I felt like Coco was beautiful enough, is beautiful enough that she should have been a bombshell or something like that.
I agree.
And talking to Ace, putting your attention on Ace was not going to get you far. We already knew from the jump, from actually episode 1 all the way down, that Ace is a game player. So he knows not to actually switch teams and things of that nature this late in the game. So he was not going to jump on Coco's boat and leave Shelly behind, because that would have synced his whole game plan.
Yeah. So we get to Pepe and Grayson.
Yeah.
He's telling her that she seems timid, but she's very beautiful, and they end up sharing a kiss.
Well, it's good to hear your voice this episode, Pepe.
Yeah. And it's bedtime. Huda tells the girls that JD is cocky. Ace is scared because Coco is his type, but he already built something with Shelly. And Taylor is kissing on Clark, but he stops when Alandria walks in.
Okay. Listen. He just is what he is, you know. Yeah. He just is what he is.
Okay.
I'm tired of trying to diagnose this weirdo right here. He just is what he is, you know.
So it's the next day. JD only made breakfast for Amaya. Shelly is talking about how she's torn between Chris and Ace. Don't believe it.
No.
Zach with a C is thinking that Iris just might not be feeling him, which is true. And Taylor made breakfast for Alandria and Clark. I thought at first he only made it for Clark.
Nice.
Now, Amaya and Zach have a conversation. JD has been bringing her breakfast, but she's vibing with Zach more. He says that he's not mad about JD showing his interest, and she shares that she feels safe around Zach, and she likes how he checks up on the people around Casa. He talks about how he was raised by a single mom and really was the man of the family, and she tells him, "Give me a kiss, babe," and they end up kissing.
Now, here's the thing about it, JD, right? You over here making breakfast for Amaya. Amaya is vibing with her Zach K and things of that nature, right? And now the girl who cannot regulate her emotions don't even want you. Like, that lets you know, basically, JD, only thing you had was basically your height. You really had nothing else to add to it. Every conversation you had outside of that moment where Amaya was basically crying, it's like we didn't know what you was talking about. Even the earlier conversations where you was talking to her, talking about sex and things like that, alluding to that, it was like weird. It's like, who are you? We don't know nothing about JD.
Yeah,
literally nothing about JD. This moment right here with Zach, I think they are each other's what's the word? I don't know about type, because I'm not 100% sure that Zach is 100% committed to Amaya the way that Amaya may be committed to him. But they kind of feed off each other's energy and things like that. Zach he's not as high energy as Amaya, but you know, he's not too low, and like he's not too cool for school like Ace, or like too kind of like to himself like Austin. So far, I have no problem with this coupling.
Yeah, I think they get along pretty well. I want to see more of it. I actually want to see Zach put in a little bit more effort for Amaya. I feel like he could stand to show his interest a little bit more. But I guess time will tell. But because he hasn't shown the interest that I would like to see, it does make me feel like he's just kind of buying his time.
Pretty much. You're right.
So Alandria and Nick talk about the kiss that they had.
Yes, they did.
And he tells her it did feel kind of weird. He's thinking that his mind was wandering while it was happening about Taylor and thinking about Sierra. Alandria agrees, and they both think they should just remain friends.
Oh, you first, because I know this kind of destroyed you a little bit.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings a little bit to see this happen, that they didn't, catch a spark, which I thought the kiss was steamy. I thought that there was something that they was both feeling. I guess I was the only one on the couch feeling something, you know?
Yes, you were.
But hey, if they want to continue being friends, that's fine. But I need Alandria to get out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep saying when it comes to Taylor, is that she has found somebody and gotten comfortable with him to the point that I feel like she cannot see that he is into somebody more than her.
Yeah.
And it's like she wants to start applying the pressure as we go along in the episode, but you cannot win a man. A man has to want you, you know? And that's how I really feel about it. And it just hurt me to see her not get that, you know?
Yeah, I have one more question for you, Blair, before I go into my whole diatribe on Alandria. When are we going to hold Alandria 100% accountable for how she showed up on Love Island?
In what way?
And not voting her to the next round. As in, once the voting opens, and let's say they ask that question again, who is your favorite person and things like that, and you got to vote for the women's side, can I count on your vote to not vote for Alandria?
Yeah, you can. And the reason I say that is because I want people who are in love to further their chances in the villa.
Okay.
And if Alandria is going to stick to Taylor and not really open up or think of a possibility to see something else with somebody else, then it might just be time. I mean, we did the best we could, I guess.
Speak up, you know what I mean? Speak up, you know what I mean?
We lost it, y'all. She gone.
Listen here, Alandria fans and Blair, this is not a safe space for y'all, because what I'm about to do, I'm about to give y'all the whole timeline of why she should have been gone from the jump. Listen, this is not a spoiler channel. This is a channel where we actually are debriefing what happened. So we kind of knows what happened. We know what happened at the end of this episode, right? Let's start with Jalen, right? Jalen was brought in to basically be a bombshell for Alandria. Alandria did not want to explore that, right? She had a choice to choose. Unlock your door so Jalen can walk right through it. She did not, right? All this time she with Taylor, and literally being with Taylor and not being with Taylor is literally the same thing. Right? Then we move on to the point where she has to prove herself in Casa, right? She had to prove herself in Casa to Zach, knowing that no one stood on her heart, knowing that she was up for elimination. And what did we see during that time? We saw Amaya go and actually make effort to stay on the island. During that time, we saw Alandria purposely put up walls and say, hey, I don't kiss, I don't do this, I don't do this, and I don't do that. Whole time, you're up for elimination. I make the choice on if you stay or go. So what does Zach do? Zach picks Amaya, right? Whole time we thinking she's gone, everybody crying somebody died. Then all of a sudden producer saved her and said, you know what, we gonna put you on a date with Nick, right? We gonna see and explore this whole Nick-Alandria hive that we got going on here. Then you actually kiss him in soul ties. All those walls come down that you put up for everybody else. You kiss Nick, and now we over here having a conversation about how you're not going to explore it. What's the point of all of this then? What was the point of this episode? What was the point of basically giving Alandria? There's no one on this show that had more chances to have a real connection than Alandria. You can't say Jeremiah. You can't say Huda. You can't say nobody on this show had more chances to swing for love than Alandria. And then what we saw tonight of how she was still saved, I need y'all to vote her gone. There's no point. She's not here for love. She's literally not. So I'm like, if she's not here for love with all the chances that we have given her,
I fear she lost the plot.
She needs to go.
Yeah.
Whole time she's still here, and y'all don't even have, what do y'all have to root for when it comes to Alandria? Y'all don't even have the whole Nick and like Alandria storyline to go for. She's just basically floating around. We got Austin on the male side. We got Alandria on the women's side. This time, at least with Austin, he's coupled up with somebody. But Alandria, you're not putting no effort in, man. So okay. so like, yo, you need to go home. I'm sorry, you know?
Yeah.
You should got me talking to her like we in the street somewhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
You sound like Taylor, man, bro.
No, because I'm tired of it. Yeah. Because my thing is, you had Jalen, you didn't want Jalen, right? You had Taylor don't want you. You had a chance to get with Zach because Zach was trying to actually get to know you and things like that. You put your walls up. You don't kiss on the first date. Okay, right? And then you get a chance with Nick and you don't want to explore with Nick. It's like, okay, what more do you want from me?
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah. So we get to Austin and Jaden, and they're talking about health issues.
Yeah.
Huda and Chris talk in the secret room. It was nice to learn, but I mean, we don't need to talk about it.
You don't care that he had heart surgery at like 4 months or something like that, or basically
sounds
4
bad.
years old?
Let's just move on.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Huda and Chris talk in the secret room. They
Yeah.
both are open to getting to know each other. We learned they both come from big families. The chat went good. Huda is now on his mind, but Shelly is still his number one.
To me, this is not breaking girls' code to me. I understand that Huda pulled Pepe for a chat a while back and things like that without telling Hannah. To me personally, I think Huda knows that Shelly's going to pick Ace. So I think her actually talking to Chris, especially since she's not in a couple, I really don't have a problem with that.
And honestly, Casa was the fresh start for a lot of the girls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no longer stepping on anybody's toes. Everybody's free game right now.
Yeah.
Alandria and Clark end up having a conversation. They both agree that it's weird that they share a strong connection with Taylor.
Yeah.
Clark doesn't want to not explore Taylor because she wants to give herself the full experience. And Alandria was shocked to see him so physical with her with a brand new girl. Alandria feels like their relationship has been tested every way, and she respects how they went about exploring their connection, talking about Clark, even though it was more physical up front and hers was more mental, as Alandria would think it was.
It wasn't mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clark says to us in the confessional, she really doesn't like her connection with Taylor to be described as a test because it's real to her. And if she had more days with Taylor, their connection would probably be stronger than what it is with Alandria. And honestly, Clark ain't wrong. I do feel like Clark has a little bit of a tood.
Just a little too?
A little bit of a tood.
Okay.
And maybe she's just a little irritated that she has to compete for a guy, so to speak. But I will say that when you come in as a bombshell or as a Casa girl, you got to know your position.
Yeah.
You are a test for the original people. And so it'd be great if she could get real, but you know, she's gonna have her own experience and think about it how she does. But at the same time, Ace is telling Taylor, I'd be scared if I was you. And Taylor talks about how, you know, it's hard having two girls in one house.
Okay, Taylor, listen, I'm not falling for the I ain't falling for the propaganda that they trying to put on me that two women really want Taylor. Clark, do whatever you gotta do, baby girl, to get that money. Okay, my whole thing with Clark is the thing that made me think that maybe she had a little too was she was like, hold on, before you get comfortable, Alandria, let's have a talk. I would have wished that I would have seen Alandria pull Clark for a chat instead of Clark pulling Alandria for a chat, because in a way that kind of like makes you look more confident. That kind of puts you in a power position besides someone pulling you and they kind of lead in the conversation of why you pulled me in the first place. There's no reason why, if you felt that confident in your relationship with Taylor, there's no reason why you should let the test pull you for a chat so we can see where we at.
Right.
You should have been the one to be like, hey, I'm just letting you know I got nothing against you, blah, 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 blah. But the whole time we heard Alandria saying her side comments and things like that. And guess what? Clark had her side comments as well of basically how she felt. She was like, you know what? I don't trust these girls in like this villa and things like that. These are not my girls. So it's like, what do you expect? But it is what it is.
Now, Alandria and Taylor have a talk, and she tells Taylor that she kissed Nick in Soul Ties, but they do not have a romantic connection. He talks about how he feels like Alandria and Clark have some similarities. She wasn't too pleased to be compared to her, but Alandria sees that they got physical quicker, but according to her, when it gets physical quick, it fizzles out quick.
Does it?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with this conversation, it's just like all of their other conversations. I mean, Taylor's not giving her much of anything.
No.
You know, I feel like trying to convince him that she's not interested in Nick, but Taylor's just like, okay,
yeah, it's
whatever.
Like, it's like, oh, it's like, wait. You don't got to explain yourself.
Yeah.
I don't care. You
know?
Pretty much, you're right. Here's the thing about it, right? I don't know if it's because Alandria haven't been in a relationship for years, but when someone says something across the lines of, I see similarities between y'all two, you got to make them list them. Like, okay, let's start from one and work our way down the list. So you could be proven correct or proven wrong. I think the most thing that is to him is that y'all both women. Like, literally, other than that, a lot of people in the comments last episode said, I can see a difference very clearly on how Taylor's acting towards Clark and like Alandria and things like that. I also can see how Alandria is over here. Whatever facade there is about Taylor and like Alandria as a couple has been made up by Alandria. Taylor don't even speak of them as like a couple as highly as like Alandria do. Yeah. So it's like everything that we ever think about them as a couple is based off of all the clips that we see online where every time Taylor give her a kiss, he have to drink after. He got to turn his head and like discuss. So it's like it's a facade, and it's kind of sad to watch Alandria fall for a facade that she created.
Yeah. Vanna and TJ end up talking, and she thinks that he has resting bee face. She can't really read his thoughts, and he says it's nothing he can do about his face. It's the way God made him.
Okay, hey, TJ, I caught the shade. TJ, stop that.
And I'm like, I don't know if he meant it, but I feel like maybe we shouldn't say that to Vanna.
I haven't heard TJ mention
Vanna's done a lot of things that God didn't do to her face.
TJ haven't mentioned God, a prayer, a Bible, a church service, or nothing. And now all of a sudden out of nowhere he said, this is how God made my face. TJ, you're not slick. You went up on my board. Okay. But you're not slick. I caught the shade.
Yeah, he thinks that Vanna's easy to talk to, but he's really wondering what Iris is doing. Amaya and JD are talking, and it's a quick conversation before they get a text message, but he's admiring her beauty. He likes her hair, and they get the text that tonight the Casa folks will return to the villa, and there will be a recoupling.
Nice.
Amaya starts crying because she's overwhelmed. Casa has been good for her, and it will be tough decisions for everyone.
Hey, I need y'all to check out our deep dive that we did earlier today. We talked about Amaya and basically talked about how she is coming off. I feel like there's a difference. There's a disconnect on how she thinks she's coming off compared to how it's being basically how I see it and how maybe other people may see it. I've seen some comments. Some women agree that, hey, I see it too. So please check out that deep dive.
Alandria tells Taylor that it will always be him and it's always been him.
Alandria, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say this. This is rude to say. Alandria, shut up. Literally, shut up. Because you ain't saying nothing. You just saying a whole bunch of words that have no meaning. It's him and it's always been him. Thank you. Appreciate it. You are basically saying his lines.
Yeah.
He haven't said anything close to that about you.
No.
So why are you volunteering that?
It's hurting my feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. Huda tells Shelly that she'd be interested in exploring Chris, and Shelly is cool with that.
Okay.
Alandria took some pictures in the photo booth, ended up kissing it because she just wanted to make him sweat a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if he sweated, girl.
Fine.
So Ariana arrives. She introduces the Casa folks to who the couples are in the villa. They don't introduce Nick and Alandria immediately. Sierra's crying. Amaya's crying. But when Nick and Alandria come out, the girls immediately run to her, except for Sierra. She goes to Nick, hugs and kisses him. And she is just so happy he's back. She thought that she lost him.
Yeah.
Elan makes a comment that he has no shot.
Pretty much.
And Zach is just trying to dap him up, make sure he feel okay.
Yeah. He said, listen,
like, it was nice meeting you, sir.
Yeah. I liked it.
So we get to the recoupling. We've got Austin and Jaden. Amaya ends up coupling with Zach. So JD is single.
Okay.
Pepe and Grayson. Brian and Andrina. TJ couples up with Iris, so Vanna is single. Ace couples up with Shelly, which we all saw coming.
Yeah.
Coco is single. Huda and Chris couple up. Sierra and Nick couple up.
Stop right there. Were you surprised by Nick's decision?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, I knew it would be Sierra.
Yeah.
Especially the way they hugged and kissed each other and
stuff. It's almost as if they went off the war and he's back or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Taylor ended up choosing Clark.
Did that surprise you?
That didn't surprise me. I thought that Taylor would have given in to peer pressure a little bit more just by the way that he responds to Ace.
Yeah.
So I really would have thought that he would have just picked Alandria to appease everybody else. But I'm not mad. If he connects with Clark, then I'm fine with him choosing Clark.
Yeah, I thought that it was going to be Alandria because I was like, oh, okay. It just is what it is. But when he picked Clark, I was like, good. Alandria, you had 2 shots between the last 3 episodes. You finally get to go home. Until what, Blair?
So she was disappointed but not surprised. Amaya was about to jump out her seat. 1 boy and 1 girl, we learned, will be saved, and the decision is up to their fellow islanders. So the Casa Amor guys or people who were in Casa got to decide on the boy to save, and they chose Elan, and the villa folks decided to save Alandria. Yeah.
What is your thoughts on this episode, Blair?
It's just Friendship Island. You know, it really is Friendship Island. I will say that I think that the good part about the twists and turns and everything that happened with Casa is I think that people are going to take their connections a bit more seriously.
Okay.
It is kind of crazy how we got to Casa and everybody was still exploring. Usually by that time, people are a little bit more locked in. So now that folks had the chance of losing each other, I think we can start to see some love grow on Love Island.
Yeah.
Now, when it came to Alandria getting to stay, Alandria has definitely been one of my faves the whole season. But I honestly feel like if you can't find a connection, if your person isn't there, if you've tried, then I feel like it might be your time to go. I actually would have wanted to see Coco stay and to see if there was anything that she could kind of make shake for herself. I was interested to see if there could be a new journey for her, because Nick, when he had the chance to talk, he was, of course, going up for Alandria, but he said Taylor might change his mind, so I think Alandria should be around, and I don't think that's fair.
With Clark sitting right there.
Especially when Taylor made his decision.
Yes.
And knowing that she would be vulnerable and might go home. So
here's the thing about it, right? Again, as you mentioned, Taylor picked Clark, and the one who was disappointed the most was Amaya.
Yeah.
Don't understand why she's hollering. Don't understand why she's crying. I don't even understand why they are mad at Taylor. This lets me know it's too much friendship going on.
Yeah.
If I'm here for love and I'm connecting with whoever I'm connecting with, I don't give a daggone about what Amaya thinks, what Shelly thinks, what Sierra thinks, what Huda thinks, listen, I chose the girl that I like.
Yeah.
So there's too much collaboration amongst everybody who's not in this relationship, right? Number two, we need to take the votes away from the Islanders. Yeah. I feel like there's too many times throughout this season where the Islanders get the last say. Whole time we get to make the vote, and basically whoever's on the bottom get to go home. But no, the bottom three, whoever's on the bottom three, and then the last decision goes to the island, goes to the people in the villa. That makes no sense to me. Then what's the point of voting? Go by the numbers. You get what I'm saying? There's too much power that the villa has. What was the point? Now that we actually saw the whole twist play out of Casa Amor, this was a dumb twist, because now you added another couple to the house. Nobody went home. You pump fake with Alandria with her getting sent home, and then you brought her back just for her to not get picked again, and then you save her again. It's like, it's like playing somebody in 1-on-1. And then they say, let's go to 5. And then you go to 5. And they say, let's go to 7. And then you go to 7. Then you say, let's go to 10. And you beat them all the way up to 10. And then they say, let's go to 20. And then you lose. And then they say, you see, I'll beat you. It's like, no, I've been tired, right? I am tired of all these twists and turns to whatever point production is trying to do. I don't even understand what the plot here is. I don't even understand what the plot is anymore when it comes to this show, right? Because the villa get to make the last decision, which I don't understand. And now we got another couple in the house. To your point, Blair, I don't even know if your point will be proven true, where you said, well, it's good Casa happened because now it go force people to actually take their connection seriously. I think out of everybody is basically back with who they was with before, right? Outside of the people who were single. So guess what? Shelly and Ace go fall right back into that comfort, right? Nick and Sierra go fall right back into that comfort. Taylor and Clark go be weird in the corner. So it's like everybody is back. We are back where we started, basically. Huda got Chris now, unless she crash out again. Huda ain't the same because Jeremiah not there. So Huda's basically a walking ghost, in my opinion. So it's like, I don't even understand where we are in the show. What's the point of the show? What's the point of saving Alandria for the show and adding a couple to the house? Maybe they broke them up so Taylor could get eliminated and things like that, because I feel like now that Alandria is not with Taylor, y'all definitely go vote Taylor gone now. But that still leaves the question, okay, Taylor's gone. Alandria's in love with Taylor. Who is Alandria going to be with? So it's best just to send the girl home.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what's going on with this season. Anything else?
That's all I got.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. We are so close to 8,000. I have a deep dive for y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all tap in. I'll see y'all.
Bye.